Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Subansha. I'm a 3D artist, and here on my channel I'm starting this series where once a week I make something that's experimental, something that's artsy, and or maybe something new for me. So I'm calling this series the test runs, and today's the first day. So let's get started. So to start a successful project, you have to delete the default cube first, obviously. So these are my references. I wanted to go with this floral background kind of look, but the top right picture you can see it's an illustrated image, and I wanted that kind of cel shaded but painted kind of look. So let's put that aside. Let's just make the flowers first. Now I did not want to make a tutorial out of this thing. This is more of a workflow video, and I'm assuming you have a working understanding of any 3D software and you just want to see somebody's approach to a particular kind of project. So I've taken a plane here and I've shaped it in the form of a petal, and I deleted half of it because I want to add a mirror modifier to it. I want it to be symmetrical on the both sides, but I also want it to be a little jaggedy and little uneven, like how peonies are, so that in the end it will come off looking organic. Turn proportional editing and just give it a shape of a petal, because you don't want it to look like a paper cutout. Now just play around, adjust the shape so that it looks more like a petal. I have raised the inner part of the petal so that the petal falls out instead of just cupping in on each other. Now just click on the spin tool and duplicate your petals. I wanted to make it 5 petals, but I did not really like the look. At least for the bottommost layer, I wanted it to have little gaps in between, so I just went ahead with 4. So for a peony, you have to adjust the petals, the inner layers, so that they can be inside the outer ones, kind of like a rose. So with your proportional editing on, just adjust the inner layers so that they kind of fit inside the outer ones. So with 4 layers here, uh, just join all of the layers together, and there you have it. You have your peony, and to me it looks pretty great. This is kind of the look that I was going for, and I guess it looks pretty much like the one in the illustrated image, and the normals are also all right, so this is pretty great. I added this cube here as a frame. I want there to be a frame in the middle of the scene. So right now this is just for the size reference. Now just arrange all of the flowers so that they look kind of like the look you want. I'm going to make the other flower as well, but the process is pretty much like the other one, so I did not include it. Now I forgot to record the part where I made this frame, but it's pretty simple. So moving on, I added loop cuts. I have also added a mirror modifier so that it mirrors on the z-axis and the x-axis. Now I want it to be sort of like a cartoonish kind of frame. I do not want a very serious frame, if you know what I'm talking about. This kind of looks like that cupboard from Beauty and the Beast. I like this kind of look. It goes well with the flowers and the look that I'm trying to achieve. Now here I'm adding ridges to the front of the frame because I wanted to have some depth and dimension, and that's going to look really good when it's going to be shaded, because I'm going to do this cel shaded look for this as well, and that will just add more colors to the frame. Now you see in the references for the illustrated image, the look is cel shaded, but I also want this paint splatter kind of look like for Hobie in this one. So yeah, let's see what we can do. Now I think I forgot to record the part where I was setting up this material. So now my project is ready and I've come back to show you this setup, and I've hidden everything else because I do not want to do a grand reveal just yet. Now we'll just go to the render view mode and see how it looks. So you see it kind of has that painted look, but it's also not very fluid. It is like a painting inside an anime, I guess you could say that, and I really like this look. Now for the next part, I did not come up with the setup by myself. I saw this in another artist's page. I'm going to put the link in the description. So what is basically going on over here is that I've added a whirl effect and I've connected that to a noise texture. So the artist was going for a different kind of look, but I started playing with the numbers and it got me to this kind of look, and I'll just show how it looks like. So this particular look is precisely what I was going for. I would suggest play around with the numbers, with the notes and the different functions, and I know it's difficult to do that with geometry nodes because it's just so intimidating. You have no idea what these functions are, and so many times you won't get any results. But what you could do is follow some tutorials, watch different videos of different people, maybe go with two or three different looks that you like. Try to understand why the nodes are put in the way that they are put, and then play around with the notes to see what really works for you. Maybe start small, just play around with the scales and maybe the rotation or whatever, and then move on to experimenting with the different notes together and what looks good for you. So, this particular setup took some experimentation for me as well, but uh, yeah, so this artist hooked it up to the normal instead of the base color because he wanted the mesh itself to look that looked like it was painted. But my mesh would be recorded from much far, so it did not really matter in my case. So I hooked it up to the base color instead. So yeah, you can do that. You can play around with the different functions and see what really works for you. And so I've added these colors, and yeah, I know the colors look very different in the render view versus the material, but it's fine. It's to do with the lighting, and I like the final look. So yeah, there you have it. Now, this is the final look. I added some grease pencil element in the background, and I'm not even going to render it for some of the renders, but it looks really nice. I added this um, background. Now, I will also put the link for that in the description, and Yeah, so let me know how you like it. I, for once, do like it a lot. So share your thoughts in the comment section. Maybe give it a like if you liked it, and let me know if you want me to do this kind of workflow, or you want me to do a more detailed tutorial sort of um, content. So